Hello YouTube, and today we are going to build an Aufero Laser 2 laser engraver and cutting machine. So this is the Aufero Aufero Laser 2. This is the box that it comes in. So let's get it unboxed and take a quick look. So as you can see, nicely packaged. We have some documentation. We have a declaration of conformity. And another one, just in case we didn't want the first one, and a second, something there that's a certificate for the safety glasses. So they're saying that the safety glasses are properly certified to meet all the necessary rules and regulations. We have the user manual, which has got a QR code on the front for the online manual. Safety instructions, a list of what should be in the box, and then we have the laser engraver itself, nicely packaged, all pushed in with a good amount of foam to hold everything in place. Seems to have arrived entirely unscathed. There's cables there. There's your 2020 extrusions. Right, so we'll get it out of the box and we'll take a closer look. So now it's all unboxed. There we have the front rail with the input for the 24 volt 2 amp power supply, the USB connection to connect to your computer, an offline controller socket. There is a reset button and a power button, all done in this nicely sort of anodized finish. The actual control board itself, you can just see in there, and you've got your socket connections there, and some information on the back, more QR codes just in case you haven't got enough already. The lasers that can come with it, I shall show you that shortly. So that's your front rail, then you have your rear rail, then you have the axis that actually takes the laser itself, that's there with its stepper motor. There we are, and the belt's already fitted, already tensioned. The rollers are already done on their eccentric nuts. There's no need to tighten those. There's no sideways play in that at all. And then we've got the left and the right hand side extrusions with their belts already fitted. I'm sure there'll be an instruction somewhere on how to check the tension, but there is a tensioner just here, a screw thread tensioner, so you can just tighten that up with your thumb there, and that will put more tension onto the belt. Again, both with what I would call a pancake stepper, really. Again, there is a tiniest amount of play in that, which just means the eccentric nuts need tightening ever so slightly, but nothing major, nothing on that one at all. That one's fine. This one's got a tiniest amount of play, so we'll check that. We've got a power supply there, which is UK, which is fantastic. That's 24 volt 2 amp. Then we've got a selection of test pieces, the hardware and the spanner, control cable to go to your PC or Mac, and the glasses. And then the most important part, the laser itself. I've gone for the short focus As I will be mainly engraving with this, I will be trying to do a little bit of cutting, but you can buy these lasers separately, and it's just a simple matter. They slot on and off the mount there, so there's nothing to stop you from buying the long focus one or the one with the air assist and just slide them on and off. So using the online instructions, you take the 4 M5 by 25mm bolts and you use those to make the frame up. So into there, we'll tighten that up, and then it's the same on this side and the same on the back two corners, and we'll come back and take a look. Now I've not tightened those 4 up fully. I've left a little bit of play in them, as we have the shorter ones, which are the M5 by 8mm bolts to go in these ends here. And please note that there is an earthing strap which needs to be screwed into the one on that side, and there's one also to go on this side. So we'll fit those shorter screws in first, and then we will tighten the whole frame up and make sure it's square. So with your corner bolts all fitted and your earth straps fitted, we're about ready for the next stage. I would just suggest that before you tighten anything fully, you check that you've got a right angle on your corners. I've used my engineer's square to do that, just to make sure you've definitely got it square before you go any further, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Now the next stage is to move these gantry fix points to the rear. Now it is imperative that at this stage you have not connected your stepper motors, because stepper motors actually create electricity. If you have those plugged in and you push these too quickly, you can create too much electricity and actually damage your board. So it's important that you push these to the back before you connect the stepper motors into the motherboard, otherwise you could cause yourself problems. So we're going to push those to the back, and then we'll fit the X gantry across the top, and then we'll move on from there. So now we've got that sat right the way back on each side, we're now going to fit the gantry across the top like so, and then we're going to put a washer and a nut onto each one of the 4 bolts. So with that now in place, we're going to run the cable from the control box up and connect it to the Z-axis stepper motor, remembering to fit the earth strap onto the top of this captive nut here. Use 2 of the supplier's cable ties through these holes on the back, where you can see these little dents, as your strain relief for your cable. So we'll slide that in up to here, we'll tighten those 2 cable ties up, and then we'll snip the ends off with a pair of side cutters. So the next cable to connect is the short loom that goes from the side of the stepper motor here over to the head where the laser sits, attaching it along the side using these plastic parts here, which you put a cable tie through and then tighten down. As you can see, this one's a little bit loose, so we'll just nick that up first, then we'll plug the end of the cable into there, run it through, and then we'll come back and show you the next stage. So here we are with the extension to the loom plugged in, carefully clipped back like so, leaving plenty of spare, which will loop round and sit onto the laser on top. So to add the laser, it's just a simple matter of taking a thumb screw, screwing it slightly into the mounting point on the side of the laser, and then this will just go up sit on like so, and then you can use the thumb just to tighten it up like so, and that's just finger tight. And now we'll terminate the wiring at the top, which is just a simple matter of putting this plug in and then removing one of those screws to add the earth cable in onto one of those. So we'll quickly do that. So with your plug fitted to your laser module and your earth strap connected, as you can see, the final step of the build is to go around, plug in your stepper motors, check your belt tensions, and also check your eccentric nuts on your carriages to make sure that there is no wobble, like so. They're all nice and tight. Should you need to alter one, you just take your spanner, come down to the eccentric nut and turn it. As you can see, that's now loose, so it's spinning. So you just snick it up a little bit until you can feel some resistance. You should still be able to spin it. You don't want it too tight, but if you just have it like that, that takes any wobble out, and that should be fine. And it really is just as simple as that. In future videos we'll have a look at what we can do with it and how difficult it is for a noob like me to be able to set it up, maybe print a few things out. I've already done a few bits and pieces on it since I made that first part of the video, but I'm still trying to hone my skills a little more. So we won't show you all the mistakes I've made and all the bits I've thrown away. We'll wait till I can get something sorted out nicely. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you've got all the way to the end here, please remember to hit the like button, leave a comment because it does help the channel, and if you're not a subscriber already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking on the bell button so you know next time I put a video up. But until then, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.